A new trend has emerged among South Korean conservative activists. They're using the internet to snitch on anyone in South Korea who says even the slightest good thing about North Korea. Now, it has been a long-standing law that if you say anything positive about the DPRK while in South Korea, you have committed a criminal offense. Now, what they're using now is portable devices so that South Korean conservative activists can report anyone who doesn't toe a completely anti-DPRK line. Even so much in a recent case, last September, a 43-year-old South Korean man was sentenced to 10 months in prison for operating a pro-North Korean website and posting over 300 messages and 6 videos praising the DPRK. In other words, not screaming that they were evil and that they deserve to be nuked or whatever the right-wing line usually is. Now, he gets almost a year for liking something. For speaking positively about something the government doesn't like, he got almost a year in prison. Think about how serious that is. They're complaining that this undermines anti-communist propaganda, which they do get at school. And the article even admits children are indoctrinated in South Korean schools to hate the DPRK. Anti-communist instruction was a staple of the curriculum in South Korea schools into the 1980s. Liberal groups say a similar anti-North Korea education has been revived under conservative President Lee Myung-bak, although the Education Ministry disputes that. It's even so bad that the National Intelligence Service actually offers out rewards, material incentives, to snitch on anyone who doesn't fully agree with the government. The National Intelligence Service sees it differently and rewards informants with a metal watch that has become a coveted item among teenagers. They call it the One Watch, after the coveted ring in the popular Lord of the Rings movie trilogy, which is referred to as the One Ring. This is very telling and almost very appropriate. Offer material incentives to turn people in for disagreeing with the government. Now, so far in 2009, 79,038 online posts that were positive about the DPRK were removed. The Supreme Prosecutor's Office gave 127 recommendations to prosecute people for not thinking the DPRK is evil. Well, so much for the supposed freedom of speech you're supposed to have under capitalism, right? And the best part about this is the government controlling people's speech, and the libertarians can't even scream and cry that this is big government, or that it is big government, but they can't scream that that's not real capitalism. It's literally targeting and persecuting communists, so they can't even give that little pretend thing they have in their head that anything that isn't like in the Wealth of Nations capitalism like 300 years ago isn't real, is secretly socialism. It's literally targeting people who are who are not even anti-capitalists, just anti-hatred towards the DPRK. Not even libertarians can scream that this is secretly a socialist conspiracy. This is literally on the level of McCarthy-era witch hunts. Students even turn their teachers in if they don't sell an image of the DPRK a particular way. This is McCarthy-era level BS. This is McCarthy-era level fascism. These so-called activists have declared their intentions and are doing so to turn things that are supposed to be free communication tools like Twitter into a way to spy on people for the government. And of course, all of it, as usual, under a patriotic guise. Because remember, North Korea puts a flag on everything. It's brainwashing. Anybody else puts a flag on everything? It's patriotism. It is in both cases. This is why I'm opposed to the concept of nations. Patriotism is probably one of the biggest lies there is. We have to move past the concept of countries. This is them bragging about turning free, open communication forums like Twitter into spying devices. Twitter is not a tool for communication but a weapon, said one 16-year-old student who had reported more than 100 cases of pro-North Korean online content to the intelligence agency. Joining Twitter is a must-do for patriotic activities. If this isn't a blow to free speech, I don't know what is. If the government comes in and deletes people's tweets or tracks people down using their tweets because they said something and didn't toe the official line, that's fascism. If you have a bunch of little neo-fascists running around snitching on people for not agreeing with the government, it's just as bad. In fact, even worse, because they are the people and the people should be defending their own freedom of speech. This is so very typically right-wing. Fearmonger and fearmonger constantly over communism. Rip away the rights of your fellow man just to simply follow a patriotic guise. As it seems to me right now, South Koreans might actually be worse than Americans when it comes to patriotic fascism. But then again, South Korea is the occupied country and not the occupier country.